All right, welcome to the relationship show. This guy writes this post. I feel like we are attracted to each other. Should I ask her out now? It says, hey, so I've been feeling attracted to this friend once I started noticing traits in her personality, which are what I imagine in my ideal woman. Also, we have common hobbies and equal viewpoints on different subjects that come in group discussions. And that's great. So you want to find someone who has similar values and similar interests as you. Like we like people who are like us or are like how we want to be. And so it's like look at situations, know that that's an important one on really understanding why people like each other. Really, I mean, it's like just think about it. It's like, well, if things are similar, it's like rapport is built, and that's another reason why like similar movements. And if you like try to build rapport through like mirroring or things like that, it's because well you're like that other person, so it's like in that case you become like the other person so they like you. Another one is, if you have like qualities that like the other person really wants, so say you're really successful, or say like in this situation I think they talk about running, maybe that's later, but they talk about running. So maybe the other person's like a really good runner and you want to be with them, but the thing is with that, it's like you will like them initially, but if you can't improve and step your game up and basically become better or close to their level or exceed their level, then you're going to start to resent them. So just be careful of that. So understand that's how we really like other people. But just know if you are in the realm as like, if you like someone because they have this certain quality, you have to work on yourself to get that same quality. Otherwise, it will cause problems and then really unsaid resentments. I've known her for years, but now I'm feeling really attracted. I feel she is into me too because of eye contact. Yeah, totally. It's like women who maintain eye contact with you and then smile and then give you kind of like that vibe. That is a sign that she's attracted to you. And so that in those situations is like that's when you capitalize. That's when you make a date or get her phone number or schedule something with her. Questions she asks when we are with our friends. Her inviting me to go running, one of our common hobbies, etc. Yeah, and also if she's asking questions about you, she's trying to figure you out, or she's showing interest in you. Totally. I mean, the signs seem like they're there, especially if you can read it from yourself, like thinking that the signs are there, probably they are. The problem is I've never felt I got the chance to be alone with her. So like in a group setting, what you might do is like, hey, whatever your name is, um, hey, Julie, you think you can help me find like some paper or just some random item? Hey, do you think you could help me find this or find this? Or hey, do you think you can show me, where the glasses are or where the plates are located? And you get her alone in that situation, and then you can lead to things like asking her out, or even if you're like alone together and you're in one room, maybe you tried that move getting her to like the bedroom. Hey, can you help me find this? And so just kind of like, and you say it with kind of like a little bit of cocky kind of smirk kind of thing, where it kind of gives the vibe. It's like, well, she knows like the real reason why you're asking her to the bedroom or alone or things along those lines, because the reason being getting her away from her friends, like in a situation like that. There's always someone else, and that's where my doubts come up. It's tough to get a woman's number in a group situation because it's like, well, there's that judgment factor. So if you go ask her out, it's like, well, she's like in a spotlight with her friends, so it's like she's doesn't want to be labeled like anything negatively, and so just ideally you do want to get her alone to ask her out or ask her for her number. Should I ask her out? If the signs are there, yes, you should. Or should I wait for it to occur naturally? Parentheses, even though I don't know how that might happen. well, you don't really want to take a passive role because that's what you've been doing. You've been her friend for what you said, a couple years. And so that's kind of what you've been doing. So if you never make a move, sometimes that can actually raise her interest because it shows like makes her wonder and almost like you're disinterested, and then she has to work for you, and she's like, sometimes, well, people want what they can't have kind of situation. But it can also be like communicate where it's like obvious that you like her and you're doing things that show you like her, but you don't have the guts to do that. And when she picks up those signals of you liking her and then you not having the guts to make a move, it kind of comes across as you being less strong, a little bit nervous or weak or less confident. And when you come across as less confident, usually her traction is lower. So I would definitely make a move and then try to get her alone to do that. Because she seems a take it very slow type of girl. I don't know, maybe so, but I wouldn't assume that. I mean, you have to be direct, decisive, to the point, because that's really what a big part of masculinity is knowing your outcome, knowing what you want, and then taking a direct action to get what you want, not making it into all these different steps and thinking you have to like be your friend for another year and then do all this stuff. It's like, and just get to the point and get to the date and get to your outcome in as few steps as possible. So, I mean, one step is like you get her alone and you ask her on a date. Or when you're alone, you ask her for a number, you wait a few days, and you get her on a date. So that's 2 steps. So it's like a fewest steps possible usually results in the highest likelihood of actually getting the result. Because there's not all those steps in between where you can make a mistake. And then when you're in that pickup phase, you have to eliminate mistakes. That's one of the biggest things, because it's like guys tend to over pursue or do too much or not pass her tests over like texting or the phone. And when they do this, it's like, well, once you make a mistake, now she's got her guard up, or now she won't even give you a chance. So just eliminate all the steps, get there in as few steps as possible, be direct, decisive, assume that she will say yes. So like, when are you free to get together, or what's your schedule availability like? What days are you free to get dinner? Things along those lines. It's like coming from a place of confidence, coming from a place of assuming that she will say yes is a much stronger position than just wondering or being like hopeful or on the fence or saying like, you think maybe this could happen, but I understand if you say no. That kind of situation, it's like she's probably going to say no because you're not coming across as confident. How you ask a woman out really matters, probably more so than the words you say. And so work on that. Understand that if you can just assume that she will say yes, and maybe when you ask her for a number, you're just like, boom. It's like, hey, no, I got to run, but what's your number? You got your phone out right here, just ready to go. Boom, get her number, walk away. Fast, decisive. That seems to be the most effective way. If you can just get to the point, being decisive is attraction, builds attraction with women being attracted to guys.